What's up everybody, I'm Josh Elkin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking 5 things and making one item out of it. Let's get on with the recipe. The first thing that I need to do here is make the pizza dough, because the pizza dough will be the vessel to drive home the concept of combining all the items. Now, this is not a revolutionized version of a pizza dough. It's actually pretty straightforward because pizza dough itself is very straightforward. I got some active dry yeast, a little bit of warm water and sugar, some olive oil, flour, and salt. That's literally all you need to make the easiest path of least resistance pizza dough. In fact, you don't even need one of these stand mixers. You could just mix all this stuff in a bowl and then knead it on a floured surface, but I have this stand mixer, and this stand mixer and me work real well together. Once the dough ball is formed, I'm going to put it in a greased up bowl and cover it and set it aside so that it can rise. And there we go. The most important part of this recipe, the pizza dough. It's the vessel. It's the vehicle that will drive home the concept of 4 items in one. On to the next item, rigatoni alla vodka. And now I'm kind of getting cute, you see, because I'm making rigatoni alla vodka. That's one item, and I'm putting it inside of a calzone, and that's a second item. And you know, my favorite thing about calzones and pasta is that you could essentially stuff anything into a dough pocket and call it a calzone, and you could take any pasta noodle, not just rigatoni, and combine it with vodka sauce and call it any pasta noodle alla vodka. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We have to make the alla vodka sauce, and in this pan I have some sauteed onions with some sauteed garlic. As the onions and garlic get soft and cooked down a little bit, I'm combining it with some tomato paste and vodka. Now you could omit the vodka, but the thing is that it won't be as flavorful. What does vodka do to this sauce? It intensifies the tomato in the tomato paste, further driving home that flavor bomb of tomato sauce. I was getting ahead of myself with the vodka explanation. To the pan I added some cream and some pasta water, zhuzhed it all up, and then added the noodles and combined everything together. To increase the flavor profile, I'm also adding some chopped parsley and some grated Parmesan cheese. The second and third item, because you know, rigatoni alla vodka, number 2, inside of a calzone, number 3. You following here? Okay, so boom, we could easily use pizza sauce from a jar or a can, but I wanted to show you guys how ridiculously easy it was to make a pizza sauce from scratch. Now all you really need is a can of tomatoes and a bunch of seasonings and a blender, or in this case a food processor. Now look, if you guys want the exact denominations and specific herbs and spices that I'm adding to this food processor, then check out the link in the description down below, which will take you to the full recipe. I ain't got time for that because I'm on to the 4th item, which is garlic knots. Now to make garlic knots, I'm using the pizza dough that we made at the beginning, but in order to turn them into the garlic knots, I gotta melt some butter and combine it with grated garlic and chopped parsley. Okay, when you're working with melted butter, you gotta act fast because I'm adding the parsley and the chopped garlic. I can't let the butter just sit or else it'll start to coagulate, and we need this butter to stay liquefied so that we can paint it over the cheese stuffed garlic knots. Which brings me back to the pizza dough, the vessel and vehicle to drive home this entire concept. Now, designing this base of pizza dough takes a little bit of finesse. First, I have to roll it out into a circle. Then on one side, the side where the calzone's gonna go, I have to stretch it a little bit further so that I can flip it over to create the calzone while maintaining the structural integrity of a pizza. So that's the calzone side. Now I have to work on the garlic knot side. You gotta work on a little bit of physics here. A knot takes 2 pieces. You gotta make some incisions to create equal amounts of incisions to then tie a piece of cheese inside and around the pizza. Are you following along or am I losing you? Now in my experience, the best way to do this is to create the knot, then take a piece of string cheese and fit it in between the 2 pieces. Okay, now back to the calzone. While trying to maintain a decent amount of space in between where the calzone's going to be and where the garlic knots are, lay down some of the rigatoni. Then flip over the stretched part of the dough on top of the rigatoni in order to create the calzone. At this point, if you're doing it right, the butter has yet to coagulate, which means it's a perfect time to paint the garlic knots. With the leftover space in between the calzone and the garlic knots, add some of your pizza sauce. Add some shredded mozzarella and some pepperoni. Look, I love pepperoni pizza, but if you like cheese or 4 cheese or sausage and pepperoni or some fancy one like ham and pineapple, then go ahead and add that to the middle. In order to make the crust golden brown and glossy, I'm going to make a little bit of an egg wash by combining 1 egg with some water. Then I'm going to paint the garlic knots and the calzone. On top of the calzone, I'm going to sprinkle on some parsley and a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. And then I'm going to take some oregano and sprinkle it all over the pepperoni. Now it's time to bake this monstrosity. Let's do a little bit of a roll call here. 1. Pepperoni pizza. 2. Cheese stuffed garlic knots. 3. Pasta. 4. Calzone. That, my friends, is a 4-in-1 pizza. Whoa. All right, let's break this bad boy down for every element. We have a third of it in a calzone. The interior is pepperoni pizza. On the exterior, it's not only stuffed crust, but it's stuffed crust tied up into garlic knots. The spiciness of the rigatoni is amazing, works well and complements the garlic and the pizza dough. Looks like bread, but pizza dough, it's a weird kind of juxtaposition that my brain doesn't know if it's eating pizza or if it's eating a calzone. And that's probably because it's both. And with that said, I'm sure that you all want to go down this journey to carb heaven, and you could do so by following the link in the description down below. It's on my website, Recipe Champions, which is where I post all my recipes. That's it for me, and I'm excited to eat the rest of this. Remember to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.